Whoa, back up. That's a duty of justice and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
He was, of course, handcuffed, and he looked, even in this court appearance, visibly distressed, but he kept his brow furrowed through the duration of this arraignment hearing. And
this is merely just calling out the lies that are bluntly told in front of our faces.
And then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise.
What is up, guys? Tyson DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I don't know about you guys, but this entire situation with Luigi Mangione seems a little suspect to me. I don't know. A McDonald's worker, okay, identified this individual while he was eating a hash brown or a bacon, egg, and cheese or whatever he was eating. And the McDonald's worker said, yo, this is the guy. I identified him from the Crime Stopper photo, which you didn't have like any real visibility besides his eyebrows and his nose. So this entire situation seems a little suspect to me. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash a like button if you kindly would. I came across this. Nancy Pelosi and her brother, Thomas D. Alejandro III, are connected to Luigi Mangione, presumably the murder suspect in the death of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, through his grandfather, Nicholas Mangione. In 1989, the Washington Post article says D'Alessandro, a former mayor of Baltimore, defended Nicholas Mangione's reputation, calling him big-hearted, despite investigations into human rights violations and regulatory shortcut ties to his business practices. This became even more interesting because Nancy Pelosi, the crypt keeper, made a suspicious trade the same day that the United Healthcare had a cyber attack, and the company she traded was chosen to be investigated in the breach. Now, I don't know. To me, okay, after you do something like that, you don't just drive 4 to 5 hours away to Pennsylvania and kick it at a McDonald's, okay? And also have a backpack filled with the manifesto, $8,000 worth of cash, and a 3D printed gun. You just don't do that.
Oh, I didn't really see a whole lot. I mean, a group of us are here every day, and one of my friends, and I thought he was kidding. When the shooter, I'm assuming was the shooter who they made the arrest on, came in, he made a comment, "God, that looks like the shooter from New York." But I thought he was, the group of us, I thought it was more of a joke, and we were kidding about it. But then, as it turned out, it was him. And like I said, the employee that thought it was him that I guess started the initial investigation on it. I talked to her later. I said, was I here when he came in? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, actually, you and your friends and all were making a joke, almost like saying, you know. And that's pretty much about it. I mean,
the person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
I mean, he ordered, went to the rear of the store and sat. I passed him whenever I left. I left and went to church, come back, because I heard there was an arrest. I didn't know which McDonald's it was, but...
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan.
Even Mr. Luigi said that he doesn't know how the money got on his persons. I don't know. I don't really know what to believe because we've been told so many lies throughout this past 4 years. This seems a little suspect to me, guys. I don't know.
We heard the judge asked Luigi Mangione a number of questions, first about his identity. So Mr. Mangione confirmed that that is his real name. He initially said that his residence was in Maryland, but then the judge actually pressed him on that. And then he said, actually, I have lived at various addresses before then ultimately giving an address in Honolulu, Hawaii. Then he also said that he has worked for 3 years as a data engineer up until about a year ago. And he also told the judge that he has no drug or mental health problems that the court needs to know about. But Aaron, one of the most interesting parts of that particular hearing was actually his statements after the conversation about bail. The prosecutors basically stepped up there and made the case why they believe that this man should be held without bail. They mentioned that he is awaiting potentially an arrest warrant coming from New York City as one of the major reasons. But they also said that prosecutors noted that they found him with $8,000 in U.S. cash, $2,000 in foreign currency, his passport, and also a Faraday bag, which is basically a bag designed to stop transmission of cell service or other sort of things like that. At the end of his speech, the prosecutor's speech, Luigi Mangione said, I actually want to address two of the things that you said. He said, I don't know where that money came from. I'm not sure if it was planted. And then he also said that that bag was waterproof. And the term that the prosecutors used when discussing the Faraday bag, the ghost guns, the 3D printed silencer, was the prosecutors used a phrase saying this is criminal sophistication. Luigi Mangione said, I don't know about any of this criminal sophistication when addressing that. But it's just interesting, Aaron, that of all of the things that were mentioned in that court appearance, the two that he noted or took issue with was the currency and then that bag.
A, you don't drive 4 hours away to Pennsylvania, okay, if you did something like this, nor carry weapons, money, a manifesto on your persons when you're eating at a McDonald's. Then we have this situation after Luigi was arrested, and this was caught on video, and he says this.
Down.
Luigi, back up. That's completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Through some research on the intrawebs, I've identified that Mr. Luigi pursued a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science at a very prominent school. His focus was on artificial intelligence and robotics. By the time he was in his mid-20s, presumably he published a learning machine on a forum called GitHub and building a career as an AI expert. He was also valedictorian of his class, and things aren't necessarily adding up. It almost seems kind of MK Ultra-y, if you know what I'm saying here. And I'm not 100% sure if a person, right, who would, somebody in broad daylight, specifically a CEO of United Healthcare in New York, would, pull the trigger on somebody cold blood in broad daylight in New York, would also piss his pants while he was getting booked. I don't know, guys. Things aren't adding up to me. Things are not adding up. I'm questioning this. I'm throwing this out on the intraweb because it seems kind of fishy, doesn't it? I know there's maybe one person that maybe people should question is the Crypt Keeper. Because remember, she said this.
And then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made.
And it appears like the webs are webbing together. I'm not sure what to believe. This is a continuing unfolding story. I would not be surprised if this individual gets booked, gets charged, goes to prison, and then gets himself. And then we never hear about this story again, just to cover up, maybe, potentially, presumably, the incredible corruption and greed in big pharma and healthcare. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.